Hey, what's up, Guan? Bonjour, Famil. Bump Jonas here from SprinkleSumSalt podcast, and I'm chilling with.
It's your boy Nicko Biz.
Hey, and we're about to have a sit down at Syke Studios, y'all. Um, man, hold on. I'm a little bit lit, bro. So I want to just kind of ease into this a little bit, man. Can you tell us how you even got started? Like, how did you discover your talents?
Discovering music is just kind of like a Kansas City culture thing. Being around it,
Okay.
growing up a lot, like around just listening to hip hop and hearing it around me, just being kind of attracted to it. Then, as in like adolescent years, like teenage years, writing and freestyling and things like that. It was all fun. You know what I mean, and seeing like older people who I knew do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was all, you know what I mean, kind of like a cultural, seemed more of like a culture thing.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean?
And you came up, excuse me, you came up in it from that angle. It sounds like from a culture angle. You mentioned writing and freestyling. Okay, so wow. All right. So you discovered it just by being in it, being part of it, being around it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. I fuck with it. So then let's get to the cliche like industry question, right? Who is Nicko Biz? What do you do and why?
Nicko Biz, I'm just an entrepreneur. I do a lot of things. Used to do charity events, things like that, nonprofit organization events. You know what I mean? Was connected with a few people who did stuff like that.
Okay.
But really, I just like to create music. You know what I mean? That's what I do for now.
Okay. Okay. And what the way I usually phrase this is like what type beat, right? But let's just have you describe your music in 3 words.
I say it'd be spiritual, um, intergalactic,
Ooh.
motivational.
Uh, I like that. Okay, I fuck with that. I like the intergalactic, spiritual and motivational. Now, definitely motivated because Nicko be talking about the money, like getting to the money, and you came right off saying like you're an entrepreneur. So, what does a hustler eat for breakfast?
Man, we doing oatmeal. You know what I mean? Bananas, most definitely. Washing it down with some water. You know what I mean? Usually got the green tea. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay,
Try
green
to
tea.
try to you know what I mean, keep it light in the morning. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you over here eating and drinking healthy and shit.
Yeah, we try to, man, for the most part.
All right, all right. So, all right. So since we healthy, then what's the vices? What's a known vice that you can talk to us about for Nicko Biz? Something that you probably shouldn't be fucking with. You'd be like, nah, let me get a little bit of that.
Something like that. I be fucking around with cake sometimes. You know what I
Ooh,
mean?
ooh.
Can't lie. It's been a lot of birthdays lately, so
This the season
you
for the
know what it
sweets.
is.
All right, all right. All right, so walk us through the first song you ever recorded.
The first song I ever recorded and released, um,
No, maybe you didn't release it. Maybe you didn't release it.
didn't release.
Yeah.
It was probably like 2014. We were, kicking it, at the homie's crib. I remember we used to record off the laptops. We used to get these laptops in high school,
Mm.
and I never used to really mess around with the garage band and all that, but the homies did. So I'm there, I mean, they used to make tons of music, you know what I
Right.
mean, tons of music. So I'm just like, ended up getting on the track. That's just probably one night, but fast forward probably to like my own self-produced track was probably like um 2020. Linked up with Andres Beats. I had this beat. I'd got 2 beats from a producer.
Okay.
Started with exclusive right beats. You know what I mean, just to make sure that
Oh wow. So
it was all cleared and everything. Just because, like I said, from being around it, I'd seen everything how it kind of pans out and how the beat system works. So I didn't want to like put up a song and it got taken down, you know what I mean, off something like that. So I pulled up on Andres with a beat that I, got purchased, and one of my homies got on the hook, and I did 2 verses on it,
and just went from
and
there.
we just went in. It was a classic, you know what I mean?
He said, look, hey,
It's on
give us some salt
SoundCloud.
for that, man. He's self-proclaimed classic. I love
Yeah,
that. I love that.
it's on SoundCloud. It's the first track on SoundCloud
All right,
of
so
my account.
there's your Easter egg hunt for y'all. Go find the first song on SoundCloud. Clown sound terrible. We'll edit that. Go find the first song on SoundCloud from Nicko Biz, and if you could tell us that, we'll hook you up. We'll figure something out. All right, so, ooh, we talked about your first song you recorded. You didn't do not Bandcamp, GarageBand. Went from laptops, but you end up hooking up with Andres, and like you're in the studio now, right? So can you walk us through your creative process a little bit? Like, what do you have prepared already before you go into the studio? What do you work on while you're in the studio?
Starting off in the studio, what we used to do was I used to keep a notepad with me. So I used to write a lot, but that kind of takes up time, is what I realized after a little bit. And I actually lost like 2 or 3 of my notepads that I had. So like, just having them, just like I might as well not even keep writing. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean, just do it off top. So when I drive, like on the way to the studio, I have the hook down, and sometimes have the verse down, but usually have the hook for the most part. And I usually drive on the way there and kind of just do it like that.
In your head, just kind of figure out the parts in your head.
Yeah, and then once we get there, we just turn it up again. You
know
what I mean?
Okay, so in that process, are you, because you've already got the hook down, so which one do you lay first? Like, I mean, I'm not necessarily asking you to break down the whole process. I want to get just the skim level, but do you go after the hook first, or do you go after the verses?
It's mostly the hook.
Right, just because you got that.
Lately, it's been the hook, yeah.
Okay, all
right.
Yeah,
it's been the hook. We usually bounce off the hook, or if I do a song, I'll do a verse or two off the hook.
Okay, all right. Excuse me, I fuck with that. Man, that Dax got me good. So, I mean, you've been recording for a while. 2014 is starting off, but 2020 is where you're like in the studio. Here we are, 2025. Are we in 25 now? No, 24. Ooh, man, Dax got me a year ahead.
Man, it's flying by.
But who do you think you've collaborated with the most in the last 4 to 5 years? That's really what I was getting to. Who have you collaborated with the most?
The most probably would probably be Cuddy C.
Oh shit!
I've been collaborating with Cuddy C a lot. I mean,
Cuddy C came up early. I wasn't even gonna get to him later.
I've been working with also Midwest Collective, but for the most collaborations I've done was probably with Cuddy C. I did my first project with him was 5 tracks, and then I did a feature for one of his projects.
Damn.
And then I've done a lot of collaborations on his podcast as well.
Yep.
So I've been real active with that.
Shout out to the Talk Your Shit podcast, man. They're dope ass individuals over there. Cuddy C, man. I know there's another cat, but I don't think I've had a chance to interact with them. But shout out to Talk Your Shit podcast, man. Make sure y'all go follow them, Spotify, all that shit. All right, so let's tap in. Let's talk about Cuddy C in a sense. Like, how did you link up with him? Because you're in KC and he's in Cali, right? Mm-hmm. So how did that work out?
He was actually promoting his one of his EPs that he just released some years ago.
Oh, okay.
And so he was hitting me through my email actually.
Okay.
And so it was a different contact that I seen, you know what I mean? So I hit him back, was like, hey, I checked out the EP and it slapped. So he was told me he had some beats. So I looked through his beat page on BeatStars.
Okay.
And we just kind of linked up through Instagram, through the social media,
and just
through the network.
And,
just went from there.
So how does that process work in the sense of, I mean, you guys aren't in the physical form together, right? So a lot of it is virtual. So how do you build that relationship to where this producer knows the type of beats you like to rock on, or, can craft like you guys did an EP together, right?
Yeah.
You're working on one now, right?
Yeah, part 2.
So like how do you, part 2, right? Okay. Yeah. So like how does that relationship develop?
It developed, he had seen me, so about the beat party, he had seen a couple singles that I released like on SoundCloud, and he hit me up like, hey, those beats slap. You know what I mean? He said he had like some similar beats. So once I checked out those beats that were similar, it was kind of had a connection through that. Then we just kind of discussed doing some, tracks together, and we ended up doing it because I seen a beat that he had, and I was like, that beat slap. You know what I mean? So,
right. Okay, so this is kind of a tangent, but it fits. It works. What does slap mean to you? Like, I mean, not like the definition, but when you hear a beat that slaps, or you like a song that's really, you're gonna hop in the car and ride to it, maybe smoke something to it. What type of a song or beat is that?
Beat slap, you just hear, some bass, the 808s going in. You could turn it up, vibe to it. I like samples too as well. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's a lot of songs that got samples in them that I like. When we say it slap, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
still go. Okay,
You hear
okay,
it just
okay.
slap.
Okay. Well, I mean, the point is to find out what type of beat is a Nicko beat, because that's the next question: is what type beat is a Nicko beat? That's that vibe, that beat that you're gonna, one, you know, you're gonna really get busy on, and two, you probably can't help yourself. You're gonna end up freestyling or spitting on or something like that.
That's a good question. It's hard to describe, really. You know what I mean? Because I try to be, diverse with it, and
Ooh, okay.
but to explain it, it's hard to put it in words because listening to beats and going through them, can't really put the word on what kind of beat. I'll say like a soulful sound,
Ooh,
more of like a soulful, more of like something
okay.
like that.
All right. I do see you as, you know, I learned from another artist. It's not always good to like compare artists to other ones, but I wouldn't compare you to another artist, but I would definitely say a lot of your sound is just like riding in a car, chilling. I definitely like the motivational part. I feel like I can smoke a joint or smoke a blunt and just cruise and like hear a story or hear some shit going on as I listen to your joints. That's what I get. So,
Appreciate it.
but I guess currency, but I don't. Again, I don't want to make a comparison there. Um, ooh, what's it mean when someone says they got motion?
They got
Help
motion.
me with the slang, man. I'm an old head.
It means they got it going, man. You know what I mean? If you got the motion, you got things going for yourself.
Okay.
Got things lined up. Got a schedule ahead of you.
Oh shit.
You
Okay.
know,
All right. Now I noticed that you're real intentional. Like you're like, okay, you know, I'm gonna get this beat. I'm gonna make sure that I have the exclusive so that there's no problems. Have you always? And you mentioned entrepreneur at the start of the interview. Um, have you always been business minded, or is that something that you learned as you know became an adult?
it's kind of came upon uh, growing up around hustlers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then high school, there was a few courses you could take. You could take like the health and development, section of classes, or you can go like the business,
Mm,
section. So I was in the business in one, and
okay.
being in a couple of those classes, seeing that business just always kind of been intriguing,
Okay. All
and
right.
having to do like business plans. You know what
So
I
that
mean?
that it- that that actually colors your approach to things in a lot of ways. You approach it from a business angle. All right. All right. All right. So um let's kind of get into some of what I call the corny parts, right? Like, who is the inspiration for Nicko Biz? If someone were to come, well, shit, I'm doing it right now. When you first started off, everyone ends up copying or emulating. Copying's a bad word, right? But emulating somebody, right? You sounded like somebody when you first started. Who did you sound like when you first started rapping?
Sounded like it'd be hard to compare because when I listen to it, it's like, man, that's a young Nico. You know what I mean? It's like it was a raw track. And it's hard to say. Kind of like you say, currency. You know what I mean? It's
Oh wow, okay,
good songs. You could smoke to, chill
okay.
to. Maybe something like that, but I don't really try to compare myself. You know what I
But
mean?
there were no one that you were maybe trying to sound like. Not see, that's a tough one. I don't mean it like that, in where you were trying to sound like. But there were some people that you definitely, when you're first starting off, if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna like, okay, well, they do that. Let me see how they did it. You know, was there
Yeah, I would
anyone
probably
that?
say like Burner.
Okay,
Listening to Burner,
wow, I'm
hearing a
surprised I
lot of
didn't
his
catch that
tracks.
before.
Yeah,
Okay,
Burner go hard. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Shout out to
yeah.
Burner.
Shout out to Burner, big San Francisco legend, big cannabis legend, man. Okay, that one went right over my head. I should have been caught that one.
Hey.
That's fire. All right. Ooh, I don't even know if I want to. Oh yeah, no. This is the way I'm asking. Hold on. I'm gonna be a little controversial. Who's a better beatboxer, or who would be a better beatboxer, Andres or Cuddy C?
Ooh, that's tough. I haven't heard any of them beatbox actually. I would say probably flip a coin on it, but
Damn.
I'd probably go. I think the better beatboxer, like personally, probably I would say probably Andres because he'll probably know what I could probably do something with. You know what I mean?
All right. We're gonna give it to Andres. We're gonna see if we can get a challenge out there. Have him submit some beatboxing material or some shit.
Yeah.
All right. So when it comes to your creative process, what comes first, the beat or the lyrics? This is what we call the chicken or the egg question.
Okay. I'll probably say the beat.
The beat.
Yeah, the beat.
Okay, so that sparks the whole thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
So then at that point, you get the beat. Excuse me. At that point, you get the beat. The beat then inspires the hook, and then you start kind of writing around it and putting it all together. I like that. Ooh.
Yeah, once I hear that beat, it's like, the words will bounce off the beat,
It
basically.
comes from there. Okay. All right. So okay, when it comes to the beat, then, like how do you? I mean, some people just like it gives them a vibe and they start writing from there. How do you pick your topics that you're gonna write about or talk about? Or some people use the name of the beat to go from there.
I used to look for beats with good names to them. I used to not look for like good names to them, but like the beats that I like with the name on them, I would try to like do something around it. But most of the time, I just hear it and then start saying something that I think about,
and then go from there.
And just go, yeah.
Just let the beat inspire you. Okay. Ooh. I think both of us can appreciate this one, and for all you 420 folks, you might appreciate this one. Is smoking bud overrated now in 2024? I got the year right this time, y'all.
It can be. It most definitely can be. It just depends on how you look at it, really. The weed's a lot stronger nowadays than what it was before it was, criticized, you know what I mean? And publicized. Now it's legal a lot of places, so...
Yeah.
It's able to be that strong, so some people may not like how it is now compared to what it was, back then.
I don't see. That's the thing I don't understand. How would you not like it if it's stronger? You know what I mean? But then there's some folks that say that it was better back then, I guess, and I don't understand that either. Because hold on, there's a whole other angle there, and I'm kind of losing the thread. But it's like, if it's stronger now, why do we smoke more of it? So I don't remember smoking as much when I was younger. But maybe it's because I got more money now and I can get more. So anyway, let's get off of that tangent before the Thrax gets me too much. All right, so it's kind of a two-parter, but I need you to answer the second part regardless. Excuse me. First of all, are you single or taken?
I sound taken.
Okay, all right, and then that just colors the situation, right? So you have experience enough to now have a partner, right? What is dating life like in the Midwest?
Dating, it could be tough at times. You gotta pick and choose. You gotta pick and choose your battles. At the end of the day, you can't try to be in the mix like that. Really, what I mean? Because anywhere you go, it's gonna be choices. You know what I mean? Not just the Midwest. Anywhere you go, you gotta have that commitment. You know what I mean? If you're ready for it, you know what I mean. If not, you know what I mean.
You gotta shake. Yeah,
hey.
I like that. Now, shout out to Thrax. He likes to say that the dating pool is pretty terrible here in KC. Would you? Now, obviously, you got a good one. You're good. You're situated. Generally speaking, would you say dating pool is pretty bad out here?
It can be. It is. I mean,
like, what's your homeboy say?
Like I said, I got some single homeboys, you know what I mean? And I also got homeboys who are married, you know what I mean? At the same time.
So you see the whole spectrum. Okay.
All right. So it weighs out both ways. Just like I said, how you look at it, how you take it, you know what I mean? It's kind of how you got to perceive it, you know what I mean?
All right. I like man, you should run for politics, bro. You good. You good.
And by the way, my girl's she's from Arizona, you know what I mean?
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the culture shock? Because, you have, I don't want to talk your business, but you have connections in other parts of the country, right? And so having been able to travel and see other people, how would you describe the culture between KC and, say, Arizona or the Bay Area?
It's a little different. They say the Midwest is, kind of slowed down compared to other cities, as they got... they just move a lot faster, where the time's different. They wake up earlier, you know what I mean, that's 2 hours behind.
Right, they already on it or
Yeah,
something.
so it's a lot of things that factor into it. But really, it can be a culture shock, or you can adapt to it. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know what I mean? Like my girl, she moved up here. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be a problem to move down there because we was just down there for a little bit
Right.
and touch down with Cuddy and them. So I'm like,
Oh shit, you got to meet Cuddy in the physical.
yeah,
Hey, that's fire. That's what's up. Ooh, it's a great question at this time. If money went away, what do you think would be the new currency?
the new currency. That's a tough question. It'd be land. You know what I mean? It'd probably be land, maybe. Whatever you got. You know what I mean, is what you got.
Trade. I feel like bud's gonna be a currency at some point.
Yeah, crops, probably crops. What you got in your backyard, whatever you can basically.
You know what I'm saying? For real. Commerce. Now, all right. This is what I call the elevator song, and what I mean by that is, if you had to have somebody, what song? Let me put it this way: what song or project would you recommend to someone to get to know who Nicko Biz was? Like, if we needed to introduce folks to Nicko Biz, what song or project would best do that?
For as my own songs, or I'd say probably what I got out now. It could be All the Time is a good one, or I would say probably Lonely Nights. That's a good song right there.
Yep, I know that one.
That'd probably be a good one. You know what I mean? It got a few verses on there, so you could kind of see it from beginning to end, how it pans out.
Okay.
And it's still kind of, I got a remix to that one coming out too.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Now, so talk to us about, you're working on Still Rolling 2, Still Rolling 1 is out, and how did you get to the point where you wanted to do it again?
The outcome of the first one, it just felt good creating and completing something. You know what I mean? It kind of felt like a project. You know, that any other project you do, like kind of like a high school project, it took me back, you know, to doing something from beginning to end and feeling that completion. You know what I mean? From each track and each verse, and
you're like, we gonna do this again.
Might as well run it back.
I like that.
With the experience,
see how he
you know
cheesing?
what I mean?
See, that's how y'all should be sounding and looking when you talk about your projects. I fuck with that, man.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh. Now here's a question that comes from our sponsor, Thrax Pastry. Not asking y'all to spend any money, but it's just a suggestion of where you can spend some time. That's all it is. Either way, you'll enjoy the journey. We call this question apology dish. So let's say somebody pisses you off. It's easy to pick on your girl, right? But we're not gonna put her on the spot. But let's just say somebody pisses you off. They say the right words, everything's cool. But what's that dish? Sweet, savory, they can go buy it, they can make it, doesn't matter, breakfast time, lunchtime, whatever. What's that dish or treat that if someone were to get it, you'd be like, you get me. Come on, we good. Let's go play video games or some shit.
To run that back on some pissed off shit, you know, you could throw down in the kitchen some probably like some chicken parmesan, you know what I mean?
Oh shit.
Some slight like that, you know what I mean?
Okay. He said slight chicken parmesan. That's
you know what I mean? It's apology, you know what I mean? If it's that deep.
You gotta throw down with that. I love it. He said, look.
Yeah.
Fuck up. You gotta heat the oven up if you fuck up with Nicko. I like that.
Bake something, you know what I mean?
So I got another quick question here, but I don't know if I want to frame it that way yet. Now let's come back around. Here's one that I like to ask folks. Philosophical in a sense, but still, kind of like back to the money thing. If the internet went away, or social media, let's just say social media. If social media went away, how would you get your music heard?
Music heard, you have to be out, you know what I mean, where they're doing things at. You know, there's a lot of open mics you see nowadays, kind of like at bars and grills and restaurants and stuff like that. So unless you're out there, you really ain't gonna get heard, or even at, you know what I mean, many bars and many clubs in general, you know what I mean? Like, you got to get out there. And, you know, like I said, without the internet, it'd be hard to get heard.
It would be hard
Like
to
you
get her. You
said,
still got to get out there. I like that. I like that answer. Speaking of like just open mics and shows and stuff, how do you prepare for a show? What's your process to get ready, or not necessarily psyched up, but just to like get focused and ready for a show? What's your process?
it's tough to have the same process for each show. But with that being said, just have a good meal. Start the day off. You know what I mean? Try not to have nothing scheduled beforehand. Try to relax as much as you can during the day. And even if you do got things to do, just keep yourself level headed. You know what I mean, throughout the day, and you know what I mean,
Just
do
be
stuff
chill.
like that. Drink water. Try to keep. You know what I mean. Your you know what I mean. Your vocals clear.
Oh
Stuff
shit!
like that, because you could run out of breath easily. You know what I mean. Or even if you run out of breath, you know what I mean. You gotta be over that mic at least, you know what I mean, to practice what you're preaching, you know what I mean?
You
So
gotta be able to, man. All right, I fuck with that. Said you gotta be prepared so you can handle the technicals. I like that. So, what does stage presence mean to you?
it's a lot. You got to do it. You can. There's really no way to say how it is, because without experience, it's hard to tell.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's hard to tell from a distance, but stage presence, it means a lot. You know what I mean? If you're trying to sell and stuff like that, and have fun too. You know what I mean? It has to mean a lot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it could be nerve wracking sometimes.
Right. Trying to project and yeah. Okay.
But if it don't make you nervous, it's not important. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
Uh,
Okay.
so like I said, like beforehand, you gotta try to stay level headed. You know what I mean?
Now hold on.
Until
Did you
get
steal
there.
that? Did you steal that line from one of your songs already? If it don't
Nah.
make you nervous, it's not important. All right.
Nah.
That sounds like a bar.
That's not in one of the songs, but
Not yet. Hold on.
not yet. Not yet.
All right. So, ooh. This is gonna sound wild, but I'm just gonna ask just to be out there with it, because Thrax Pacer and I sometimes argue about how to make a sandwich. So, I always like to get some research from folks around me. What's the proper way to stack a burger? Like, do you put the lettuce on the bottom bun, or do you put it on top of the patty?
It's going on the top.
Oh, it's going on the top.
Yeah.
So, what's your order when you're making a burger? How do you stack
It'll
your
be
burger?
the patty.
We starting from top to bottom,
Yeah,
or
top
or how do you start? Whatever way you tell.
Start from bottom to top. Put the
Okay.
bottom one. Throw the patty on there, and then put the top one. Probably put some mayo and a little bit of ketchup, maybe
Okay.
some mustard. You know what I mean? And put the lettuce on top of that, and maybe some piece of tomato or something on there.
Okay. All right.
And just
No
stack it like
onions?
that.
No onions, no cheese?
Maybe some grilled onions, some cheese,
All
most
right.
definitely.
Pickles.
Nah. I ain't doing pickles.
Yeah, fuck.
Nah.
He said pickles like they was the law and shit.
Man, I be yeah.
I be dodging pickles.
Like a motherfucker for real.
All right, man. So, yo, here's actually a question. Excuse me. That comes from our other sponsor, Pigwitch. Yeah, shout out to Pigwitch, y'all. How do you go up and order an off-menu item? If you know, some places have things that other folks don't know about that's on the menu. How would you go up and be like, hey, let me get such and such off the menu?
At Pigwitch.
Or it doesn't have to be at
Anywhere,
Pigwitch, but anywhere.
Just walk up. They greet you most of the time. Ask you, what you would like. I try to, I guess, at least know what I want.
Right.
You know what I mean? When they holler at me and shit, and what do you mean? Like say any restaurant?
Yeah, anywhere, but you just happen to know that they have an off menu item. You know that they have off menu stuff, but it's not listed. So how do you go up and ask them like, hey, let me get that extra double cheeseburger with the, pickle bread? Yeah.
Just ask them straight up. Be like, hey, y'all got that today? Because sometimes they be trying to say that they're sold out.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so you
gotta
feel me. So,
yeah.
all right. And then what if they be like, yo, I'm sold out? And be like, you gonna press them or you gonna?
Be like, man, you know what? Don't even sweat it, because I ain't tripping like that. I mean, mess around, try to make it anyways.
He said, fuck it, you gonna fuck my shit up. He said, you gonna fuck my shit up. All right, man. So, look, I got to get us up out of here, man. But I do want to ask, though, of course, the cliche thing I'm going to ask. what's coming up next? You mentioned Still Rolling 2 is you're working on, right? You got any other visuals or any other entrepreneurial projects coming up?
I got another project coming out called Real Recollection,
Oh shit!
featuring Skid Carter.
Oh,
It'll be a 6-track EP. It's finished. I'm just looking for probably release date. Probably at the end of August, it should be out.
wow. So you work a lot, and when it comes to projects, you're like in the process, right? So when do you have to like set aside time to write, or do you just are you always writing?
Um,
Or
it just
I
it
mean, I know you write in
depends.
your head, but it's still like, how do you get all of these projects?
It depends. Cause them, like when you work, like I used to be able to do a lot of music like a year ago before I had a kid.
Yo,
So appreciate
congratulations!
it, fam. Appreciate
Hey,
it. So like last year I recorded a lot of music. So this project I'm releasing is what I recorded last year.
okay, so you had some shit on deck. Okay, that's
Yep.
dope. That's dope.
And like writing, it's hard to put time aside. You know what I
So,
mean?
yeah, with a kid, man. Shout out to the babies, but you
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
you writing in the bathroom right now, type shit,
Hey man,
man. In the
riding like
car
in
and
the
shit.
car. Like I went to the studio 2 days ago and basically just had a 20-minute drive and you know what I mean, did it
Got
like
it.
that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Ooh, speaking of, I do got a quick question. Um, I call it studio feng shui, and you spent a lot of your career so far in the studio, in like a proper studio. It sounds like too. So, what are some things that have to be in the studio in order for you to feel like you had a successful session?
Um, I need some water, most definitely. Maybe uh, a couple bags of chips. You know what I mean. For emergency reasons. You know what I mean. That pick me up at the end of
Yeah.
the session. But just a finished track, not a finished track necessarily, but at least a bounced out track. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
If it's like a 2-hour session, I try to do a song or two. You know what I
Per
mean?
session. I like that. You have a
Yeah,
lot of intentional energy when you do things. You're like, no, I want to. Like, is there? Have you had a project that you haven't finished yet?
yeah. I'm working. Not yet. A few.
I'm surprised. I feel like you just like once you start it, you don't stop until it's
Yeah,
done.
it's tough, man, to keep stacking up tracks. They just what I mean get stacked up and have to get more storage on your iCloud and Google storage and got to keep up with that and yeah, I got this one called Summer Sessions or Sunday Sessions. I'm doing with Andres.
Oh shit!
It'll be an EP. It'll be all his beats.
So you've already talked about 3 different projects in the span of this interview.
Yep.
Man, you are a workaholic, man.
Yeah. So we're trying to keep it. You know what I mean? Stay in the algorithm. You know what I mean?
Keep pushing.
Yep.
Okay, all right. And speaking of that, how do you handle like networking? What's your approach to networking and being at a scene and getting to know people or getting folks to know you?
Um, being present. You know what I mean? Being
Ooh,
there.
that's a good one. Come on, y'all. That's a good one.
Being communicative. You know what I mean? Communicating. You know what I mean at all times and. You know what I mean? Just being present at the least, you know what I mean? That's what, what I mean, you got to do.
I like that. I like that. Man, again, hell of an interview. You're super. I already knew you was going to be an insightful dude anyway because I listen to your music and I hear it. But I want to ask, as we get up out of here, same thing I ask a lot of people, whether it be at a show or in an interview. When the show is over, when the songs are done, and I may have already asked you this one actually because you've been at the Mecca before. What is it that you want the folks to walk away with? What's the experience that you want them to leave with after they've heard or listened to or seen Nicko Biz?
Just inspiration, you know what I mean? Inspiration because, in performing, it takes a lot, it definitely takes a lot to perform. So definitely just be inspired, you know what I mean, to keep working day in, day out,
Keep pushing.
keep pushing, you know what I mean,
Hey,
straight up.
I fuck with it, man. I fuck with it. All right, man. Look, is there anything you wanted to say on the way out, man? Anything else you need us to know?
You know what I mean, you guys know about the projects coming out soon. Just be on the lookout for that. Appreciate y'all tapping in, you know what I mean? Appreciate you taking the time out for this, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
You know, just tap in with Sprinkle Some Salt, you know what I mean? We got things coming soon.
Hey, bro, man. Hey, I appreciate you, man. He took the time to give me the love in his moment, man. It's been Bump Jonas here from Sprinkle Some Salt. We chilling, having a sit down at Syke Studios. I just had a dope ass conversation with none other than
Nicko Biz.
Man, y'all tap the fuck in. And as I always say, love yourself like you try to love the world. Do something to earn your place in the world this week. And just be a dope motherfucker. Y'all have a good one. Peace.